Here's the joke. What do you call a fake noodle? Yeah. I have now outsourced my joke telling to Linda, so I'm going to tell jokes through Linda. All right, so we've got some new people. Meet our new staff. We've got some home care nurses that have started. Courtney, Rachel, Megan, Melanie.
Going too fast.
Oh, I'm sorry. Brittany. Are any of them here today? Probably not. Okay. We have Jolene, Leah, Katie, Suzanne, and Sherry. Any of them here? Anybody? All right, well, we'll welcome HCN nurses. And then we have one new staff member, Paige. Where are you? Oh, she's front and center. Say hello to Paige. So Paige works in HR, new HR generalist. So you'll see her around. Some fun facts about Paige. She's married to Colin. She has 3 younger sisters.
Are they nurses that need jobs?
Are they nurses? No. Bring them here if they are. And in her free time, she likes to hike and or play tennis. Cool. Welcome, Paige. Welcome, everybody. I think Kelsey's up here next.
All right. So it's a busy month in Sharing Care. We have a lot of events that have already passed and a few more that are coming up still in May. So the first one's coming up this weekend. It's Fates Lodge Hope Walks and Rolls, and that's in Maple Grove. So we're the hydration station sponsors. So if you want to come out and man a hydration station along the course, we have some spots available. So let me know. And then the Memorial Blood Center will be right here in Woodstock 1 and 2 next Thursday. There are also some spots available for that still. You can do it all online, so just pick a spot that's available. And then the Baby Steps 3K, we are also Water Stop sponsors through the Children's Hospital. So that's at the State Fairgrounds on May 30th from 8:30 to 11:30. And then lastly, West Metro Miracle League. So Miracle League season starting. We'll have a few other opportunities this summer to be buddies, but the first one is on Sunday, May 31st. So the game is from 1:30 to 2:30, and if you want to come out and buddy up with a player, it's a lot of fun, and you don't need to be great at baseball.
You don't even need to be good.
You don't even need to be good at baseball. I rarely catch the ball that they throw to me, so it's fine. And then lastly, we get a lot of questions on the Sharing Care volunteer time form, just about how you record that, and it gets kind of crazy with if you're taking PTO to do a Sharing Care event or anything like that. So you'll see next time you go to fill out volunteer time form that there's an example down below just to kind of help you out with that. So if you don't already know, PHS will match up to 5 hours of volunteer time per fiscal year. So you should definitely take advantage of that with Sharing Care hours, but hopefully this example helps. But if it doesn't, obviously come let me know. But look for that if you have any questions. Thanks.
Okay, thanks Kelsey. Next up is Sweet Salty Pickle. Rush?
Oh, it will be
No.
But I gotta find the people first because last month I couldn't find Jimmy. So Jimmy's there now. Do I have a screen? Maybe? How do? Oh. It's fine. I'm still looking for my people. Okay. So this month we had 19 submission, which is the same as last month. Let's keep that up. We didn't go down. We stayed the same. And the winners this month is Amanda and Darcy from Warehouse. I don't see them here. I think they might still be in the warehouse working. Oh, Darcy's off today? Okay, thank you, Jimmy. So anyways, they went above and beyond to help Pat and the family out. Family called in on a Friday, wanting their supplies and needing it by the next day, which is May 1st. But because of our shipping process, they wouldn't get it till Monday. So Darcy and Amanda stayed later to kind of help get that out the door our same day for the family. So thank you, Darcy and Amanda.
Okay, yeah. Next up, we have Taylor Company.
You want the microphone? I don't think I need the microphone. What? So there's this pastor teaching Sunday school class last Sunday. And he says to the kids, he said, we're going to learn about resurrection. Does anybody you guys know what resurrection is? And little Johnny raises his hand and says, yes, if you have one for more than 4 hours, you're huh? Where's Todd? All right. Okay, thanks. You guys start off with a nice little joke there, but I'm just gonna kind of give you guys a little mid-year review of what happened this last 6 months and what we are gonna look forward to for this next 6 months of our fiscal year, because we're right halfway through. So, how do I work this thing? Is it just one of these? Oh, there we go. All right, so overall, these are some of the things that we're just going to look at real quick. Patient satisfaction, off the charts, 100% satisfied. You guys are rocking, doing an excellent job. Keep up the hard work. Thank you very much for taking care of our kids, our families, our caregivers, our referral sources, each other. Keep it up. We're doing a great job. Thank you. We've got many strategic priorities going on right now. Some are in the middle of their in the process, and some are kind of coming to completion. And then our overall growth and revenue, we're on target right now. The one thing I do want to say is the last quarter, we've started trending in the wrong way a little bit. I'll get into a little bit more detail on that as we go through. But we just want to, I want to keep you guys aware of that, because we are looking at some things on how we can become even more efficient, and we've got some things on the horizon that I want to talk to you guys about. So, just looking at some of our strategic priorities. Business development. Some of the things that we're looking at, complex rehab. I don't remember if we mentioned this to you guys or not, but as you guys know, Pam Clifton had spent a lot of time doing a big investigation on whether or not PHS should get into the complex rehab division. Well, Pam has done a thorough investigation of that. And what we've decided is, yes, we want to do it, but we're going to wait, because we've got some other priorities that need to be in front of that. So please just know that we're not bringing on complex rehab at this point. It's on the shelf, and we're going to bring it back off the shelf, or at least talk about it next January to say, all right, are we wanting to move forward with it? And if so, we'll keep you guys all informed. Also, with business development, pace of change. You know, we've got a lot of stuff going on, space issues. I do want to thank the folks that have had their areas condensed and squeezed and that sort of thing, because we are still kind of bursting out of the seams here. It is sometimes challenging, but please be patient. Hopefully we'll have some good fixes for that in the future. Let's see here. We also, with some other paces of change, we've got, and I'm going to get into this more, our comprehensive care program. No, wait a minute. Is that what it's called? Comprehensive Care Management Program? Thank you. And then also, we have some retirements coming on. So we've got some succession that we're going through as well with Sandy and Barb and Pam Clifton going to be retiring here. And we've got some changes moving in the HCN department and operations and that sort of thing. So we want to manage that pace of change because we know when we do a lot of change at one time, it gets to be a major pain in the ass. And so we want to make sure that we're not dumping everything all at one time. So please be patient with us. We're really trying our hardest to manage that change. Developing leaders. The succession stuff is still moving forward, as I mentioned. Todd and Jason have been working with a lot of managers and supervisors and even senior team members on some leadership development and training programs. And maybe hopefully at some point start to spread that out to more of the folks out there. But we're first just starting with this group because we do have a lot of young supervisors and managers that we need to kind of continue to develop their skills, including mine. Improve the work experience. There's been a lot of focus on the space stuff that I've been talking about. Please be patient and thank you for being patient with some of these moves. Our employee experience strategic initiative. This was brought up, I think, at one staff meeting. We do have, so we ask you guys all these questions. We get the Star Tribune survey. We ask you guys to fill out that survey, give us that feedback. And we do stuff with it. We don't just go, oh, look at this, they want one of these, huh? Or, oh, it would be nice to do this, and We do things with it. If you go on to Thrivent, it's on our Thrivent page. It's on, oh, good Lord. ComproStrats. Does anybody know what ComproStrats is? It's, I don't know. Dana, would you like to explain it to us?
It's a combination word of committees, process improvement groups, and strategic initiatives. If anyone has a better idea for the name of that category, we're very open. But that just seemed to sum it all up for the communications committee. So
it's under that area. If you click on that, and it talks about some of the feedback that you guys have given us, and some of the things that we've done with that feedback. So please, we are taking your insight and your stuff very personal. We want to make sure that we're taking a long, hard look at that. And there's some things that we would love to do that we certainly just can't do. But there are also those things that we do because you guys are asking us to do them. The Star Tribune surveys, we just got the results now. We don't know where we ranked. We won't know until Father's Day, which is June 14th, I believe, this year. So please check your newspaper. Don't look online that night or whatever. And then email me or call me or whatever. I don't want to know because I'm going to get up that Sunday morning. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee. I'm going to go out to my front step, grab the paper, sit with it, and then open it up and then be very surprised. You guys, you know what? I don't care where we're ranked. We know we're ranked, which is a great thing. And it doesn't matter if we're number 1 or number 10. You guys are doing a hell of a job with this organization and taking care of these kids. And so just being ranked is great in itself. So thank you for all of that. So be prepared there. Improve the operations and technology. We're streamlining the inventory management in phase 2, and that is looking at inventory management, and we're starting that with some of our scanners that our drivers and warehouse guys, I think, are using, or some of the warehouse guys using some of the scanners at all. Thank you, Rand. So we're testing those where it's the goal of improving the speed to help our customers, you guys. So that's, if we can get those things, take care of them, we can get the delivery ticket and the oxygen tank scan really quick, and ultimately we'll be able to be really efficient in making sure that we can continue to manage our patients and the supplies that they are receiving. All right, we're going to move on. Improve the efficiencies. some more of our strategic priorities. The customer experience. And this is one of the things with this comprehensive care model. Are you guys familiar with that at all? I mean, I think there's a lot of people that were a part of building that and putting this together, and I know Jesse's putting together a really good dashboard, and I don't know, I think we're getting closer. But this is something, as we've heard feedback for the last few years, especially once we brought on HCN, that we are making phone calls to our families constantly. So we could make 5 phone calls to one family because we got something in respiratory that we need to communicate to them. We've got something in IV that we need to communicate to them. Pharmacy, HCN, dietary, customer service, whatever. So we're trying to put this thing together to eliminate all those phone calls, and we kind of have we're going to kind of base it upon our high-tech patients that have a lot of our services, and I know there might be more to that I might not be completely articulate on. But this is going to be coming out, I think, very shortly. Judy, you were kind of...
Yeah, it's what we're doing is we're going to roll it in stages. I'm sure that once everybody sees it, they're going to want to apply it to every single patient that we have. So we'll be looking at a tool that has been designed with the help of a large group of people. Jesse and Leah have been kind of spearheading and having ongoing meetings. So we're going to have an instrument or a tool that will be used that will pull information from many areas of CPR Plus and populate an area so we know what the outstanding questions needing to be answered are, and it will be very helpful. But we're going to first start it with patients that are still in the hospital prior to their discharge and up to 30 days after their discharge. So it'll be in a limited basis, but we're very close, and I won't commit Jesse and Leah to an end date until they're comfortable that it's working well. But a great group of people and a lot of contribution in that work.
And this will be a great tool once it's up and running, and we will totally bring everybody up to speed on how to use it and what we need to do with it, and how to work best with it. And then obviously we've talked a lot about online ordering. Pam and her team have worked diligently hard on this online ordering process. You guys, I have no idea what it takes to build something like this, but when we talked about doing this from the get-go, I just thought, holy hell, I have no idea. Good luck. And I'll tell you, Pam and her team and the Hadley Flint that we've worked with, and MBREC, I think is the name of the company, they've really worked hard at building this thing. It's so complicated, you guys, and I think the folks in customer service might even be able to better appreciate this, because there's so many different rules for so many different payers, and it changes constantly, and it's just crazy. It's gonna work beautifully. We're on target to roll it out October 1st. That's go live, but I know Pam does have people starting to.
We're gonna place an order in a little while and show everybody how that goes.
Excellent. So look at that. You'll get a little sneak peek. Okay. So, but it's been a long road, and it's just a tough thing. And we wanted, if you guys remember the MNsure website that came out, and it was just a complete disaster. We're trying to avoid that. So, and we will. We're going to avoid that. And even though once we go live, there still probably are going to be a little bumps in the road that we got to kind of manage through, that we just don't know. So once we get there, we'll figure it out, and it'll be smooth. Again, it may be a little rocky, but we're going to get it figured out, and Pam and her team have done a fantastic job. Real quick, legislative stuff, because I know my time is already up. Legislative, I'm sorry. I'm not going to get into too much of the details on our competitive bidding conversation here. Session closes next Monday at midnight. We are working to try to de-link our Medicare competitive bidding rates so Medicaid doesn't adopt it. That's all I'm going to get into, because it's incredibly confusing, and if I say any more, I'm going to confuse you guys, and I'm going to continue to confuse myself on this topic. I can't tell you one way or the other if we're going to get rid of this. I think some days we're going like, yep, we're going, and tomorrow it's nope, it's going to be we're not. It's not going to happen. We're trying to de-link Medicare fee schedule from the Medicaid fee schedule. It's a hell of a lot less reimbursement than the Medicaid fee schedule. They want to adopt those pricing, that reimbursement structure into our Medicaid structure. We don't want that. 45% cut in reimbursement for us, and that's huge. I'm considering on top of all of the other cuts that we faced over the past 10, 15 years. It's really challenging. We are preparing for worst case scenario. I mean, we've got some things that we are thinking about. If this does happen, what do we need to do? Because there's going to be things that we probably are going to need to do. What those are, I don't know yet. But we're starting to think about what happens if that is the case. We've got a sales tax issue that we're continuing to fight with at the state of Minnesota. Again, I can't tell you one way or the other how that's going to go. We should hopefully find out by Tuesday morning. But there's also a lot of chatter at the Capitol that there's going to be a special session. And that means that they're going to continue to talk, and who knows how long that goes on for. And there could be then the potential of a government shutdown. We faced that before. That means that we don't get paid from the state of Minnesota for a month, maybe 2 months. It just all depends. And this company thrives on cash flow. We need that money to come from the state so we can pay you guys, pay our vendors for all the products and supplies that we have, pay rent, all of the sorts of things that we need to do. So we're looking at what we can do to avoid those things. We're working really hard. Cameo Bill and my mom have been down at the Capitol constantly. I think Bill is ready to pull out the remaining few hairs that he has on his head because it's been a really tough time at the Capitol. Real quick, financial, you guys, we are on target. I mentioned this earlier. Our last quarter, we started trending down a little bit. And so we don't like to see those trends. So we want to make sure that we are wanting to do everything as efficiently as possible. So as we are always wanting to do, I think I said this in my comments, I know you guys all read that, that we want to always look at efficiencies and where can we continue to improve and how can we become more efficient in our processes. We're doing that all the time. And right now we're taking a real hard look at a bunch of things, including home care nursing. We're looking at just our respiratory division, our IV division. We're looking at everything that we can make sure that we are doing everything as efficiently and effectively as possible. Where am I? Am I done with financial? So there is some profitability analysis that shows for some good opportunities for the second half of the year. We think that we're going to that trend is going to go swing upwards, which I'm praying it does, so that we can just continue to provide the same service that we've been providing like we have for the last 24 and a half years. Also, I want to just mention real quick, well here, I can do that here. The second half of the fiscal year, so that competitive bidding thing that I just talked about still exists, and so we're trying to look at what we can do to eliminate that. Decreased revenue, so yeah, that would mean it doesn't, those Medicaid or the Medicare fee schedule doesn't hit everything. It's just a few certain supply line items, certain formulas, CPAP, enteral supplies. These are big things for us. And so if we take a 45% cut on that, that's a huge thing to this organization. Our profitability analysis shows some opportunities for improvement lines, and in particular with HCN. We're really kind of doing a look at HCN to see where we can be even more profitable within that division. And also without, affecting our high clinical excellence that we have, is obviously it's going to be still our priority. Bottom line, spending will be conservative. We have just tried to talk to our managers and staff about, is it nice to have or is it necessary to have? If it's absolutely necessary to have these things that we need to run the business, we do it. If it's nice to have, I want to hold tight a little bit. I want us to just kind of say, can we just take a little pause, a little time out, and maybe step back and just see, do we really need this, or is this something that would be wonderful to have and nice to have? And if that's the case, then I'm asking to take a time out for a little bit. I'm talking too much, and now I'm very thirsty. So, and then also, real quick, you guys, we're going to do a town hall meeting this summer. After the legislation session ends, we're going to invite a lot of families to our location here. We're going to talk to them about the change that's going on in home care right now, with the competitive bidding stuff, with some of the sales tax issues that we're facing, with the reimbursement cuts that we're facing. We want to keep our families informed of what's going on. So this July, I don't know the exact date, I think we're kind of pegging it for mid-July, we're going to invite as many families as possible that want to come so that we can have some conversations with them about what we're trying to do and some things that may affect them within their care of us. So look for that. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to invite you guys because we're probably going to have so many families in here that it just wouldn't be conducive to have that, but we'll keep you guys informed on what's going on. That's all I got. Do you guys have any questions for me? Do you want to hear another joke? I do have another joke, but it's even more inappropriate than Thanks for listening.
Wow. Well, thank you very much, Mark. Next up, we have customer service book report from the LDP, the Perfect 10 LDP group.
Okay, we are the Perfect 10. We are the 10th group of the Leadership and Development Program. For those of you who may not know the members of our group, we are Heidi Coleman, Bree, and Michelle Krell. During our studies in the LDP program, we were to choose a customer service book and share our findings with you. The book we chose is the Disney Institute's Be Our Guest, Perfecting the Art of Customer Service by Theodore King. We chose this book because it explains how the Disney Corporation always has and always will put the customers first. We felt that this philosophy is somewhat similar to the philosophy of PHS. We incorporate this carefully by choosing our cast, which is our employees, our setting, which is our office space or patient homes, and our process, which is the way the PHS employee conducts their business.
Go on, unfold your menu, take a glance, and then you'll be our guest. We our guest, be our guest.
Okie dokie. Hey everyone. There is a reason why the cast at Disney and the employees of PHS are so amazing. It's not a coincidence. Both organizations believe that orientation is paramount. Whether a cast member at Disney or a newly hired employee at PHS, we all start with a clean slate. And then we're infused with a menu of history, expectations, and procedures. We're going to hold on that for a second. During orientation, stellar companies like Disney and PHS create mutual interest in their companies by stating their vision or mission. This is correct. For instance, ours, we take care of the child. We are repetitively reminded of this, and it becomes us. This is the driving force of our PHS culture. This is just a little slide kind of illustrating some of the Disney speak that we saw when we read this book. For instance, Michelle mentioned cast. That's employee. So it illustrates some of the language Disney uses in everyday operation, as well as some of the verbiage we at PHS use. Disney devised this language to further emphasize their belief that when we're at work, we're performing. When we're performing at PHS, these are some examples of questions we might ask ourselves in order to provide amazing customer service. You know, are we making a great first impression? Are we dressed and groomed appropriately? Are we communicating genuine caring? So we wanted to illustrate to you what might just happen at Disney or PHS if a foundation through orientation was not set. First at a Disney theme park and then at PHS. Just may take a few seconds to get it loaded, so bear with us.
Could you tell us how to get to Frontierland? Excuse me, can you direct us to Frontierland? We didn't get any maps when we came in. You didn't get a map when you came in? No, we're spending the most of our day trying to find our way around. You know, not my problem. Go to the front. Get a map. Hello, who is it? And I'm wondering if you could help me. I'm having the alarm go off on the monitor, and I don't seem to be able to shut it off.
Does she need to be on it? Well, just go ahead and shut it off for now. I'll see if I can send someone all the way out and help you.
Do you know what time they'll be here?
No.
So now we're going to move on to setting with Miss Bree.
So the setting is defined as wherever your customers meet you. The setting can deliver both the physical and psychological aspects of service. So Michelle had mentioned two of the settings we may see here at PHS. The two most obvious are the office and the home. Does anyone else have ideas of other settings we may come across? Hospitals, what good one? Schools, but even more abstract. What's that?
Conferences.
Conferences, even telephones, our website, our resources, all that could be included as the setting. One thing Disney emphasizes is paying attention to details. They say everything speaks and everything's going to deliver the message to our customers, such as some perceptions as to the quality of service we provide, the cost of services, and the level of our product lines. So some of the things you may see, so anyone who has been to Disney can kind of attest to this, but the value that they place in their setting and how they make you feel like you're really in a world in their theme parks. They specifically designate areas as on-stage versus off-stage, where they gear their on-stage setting towards their customers, whereas off-stage is more geared towards their employees. And we talked about kind of the various settings and how we focus on maintaining and improving our settings. And that everyone involved must do your part in order to maintain and improve those settings. And then I'll pass it off to Mary.
The last area is the magic of process. One example of a process at PHS is the steps we take in admitting a new patient, getting them set up with equipment, medications, and supplies. And there's actually many, many steps involved in doing this process and many people who make that happen. I really liked this quote from Walt Disney. Think of processes as a railroad engine. If the engine doesn't run properly, it doesn't matter how friendly the conductor acts or how attractive the passenger cars look. The train will still not move, and the passengers will not pay their fares. Very true. There were two main points in the book about process. One was look for combustion points. The key to this was studying the customer. It will be really helpful to improving processes if we are listening carefully to our customers, even soliciting their feedback. And the second main point was plussing, which is Disney speak for improving. Walt Disney was excited about the park he was creating because, unlike a film, he could continue to develop it. And also at PHS, we're developing and improving, or quote, plussing. So how is the magic of process going at PHS? I see us regularly implementing the suggestions from the book in many ways. I have listed some here, and I'm sure you guys experience how we're continually plussing our organization. One thing I took away from this book was a better vision of our strengths here. We seem to be motivated to keeping on doing a better job for our kids and their families. So now for a look at folks doing customer service the right way.
Excuse me, could you direct us to Frontierland? Oh, I'd be happy to. I hope you're enjoying your visit here. Oh, we really are, but we didn't get any math when we came in. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Here you go. And right now, I'm happy to push the list for you. Thank you. Thanks for calling me. How may I help you? This is Jill Schultz's mom, and I was wondering if you could help me. Do you have any good off our thermometer? Oh, I'm sorry about that. Can you press and troubleshooting over the phone? Sure. Do you have any idea of the time I'll be here? Is there a time that will work for you? I'm around all morning. Okay.
So I wanted to say special thanks to Caitlin helping with the videos and Cassie helping us do our presentations.
Now everybody will be able to hear.
So, thank you LDP, very nice presentation. So next up, we have the riveting topic of office safety and hazard awareness, and this is Joni's last presentation here at PHS. And our new Joni Page, Meet Urbana. Come on up.
Alright, so office safety and hazard awareness. We are gonna play a little trivia game for some fancy flashlight, solar powered prizes. You answer the question correctly, or if you get the closest answer. So these are the things the trivia is gonna be on. Alright, so how many emergency exits do we have in the building? Raise your hand so we can give you a prize. 5. Linda? 5. No. 7. 4. Oh. 14. 12.
17. 16.
Tim knows. 8. Tim?
22.
You are correct. Can you name the closest one to right by Cameron's office here. Alright, so there's your answer, and then this fancy map can be found on Driving. It shows you where all the exits are at. So be familiar with all the emergency exits. Never put anything in front of them. Decorations, furnishings, or any equipment, don't put any of that near an exit sign. And in case of emergency, you always want to walk quickly to the nearest exit, so know where the nearest one is to your desk, where you spend most of your time. Alright, so how many fire poles are in the building?
22.
Anybody else?
12.
5.
15.
Oh,
10.
Oh, who said 12?
12.
Lee. You are correct. So that's where there is one by every exit. Okay, how many fire extinguishers? Amy?
16.
Wow.
17.
And then we want to just make sure we know if these are not for employees to use, they're for emergency personnel to use in case of fire. And a few OSHA facts, so there are over 200 fires every day in U.S. workplaces. More than 5,000 employees are injured in explosions and fires on the job. And there's an annual cost of over $2 billion to U.S. businesses. So how you can help eliminate or avoid an office fire, if you have an electric heater or fans at your desk, make sure those are unplugged every night, and then also don't smoke on the premises. So where are, this is the number one, these are where they're located at. Electrical outlets.
All over.
On the walls.
Everywhere. And the green on the map is the electric outlets that are backed up by the generator. So they are everywhere in the building. So just a few don'ts to not do for electric outlets. You don't want to overload them. You don't want to run cords outside your cubes that can be damaged or tripped on. And then don't attempt to try and fix any electrical problems. Call facilities. All right, so where are the AEDs?
I'm not going to answer because I teach this. Somebody else better answer this.
All right. Anybody else? Jody? Yeah.
I think there's one in the kitchen, one right here, outside the wall, and one, one by Dr.
Yes. So there are three right up here in the break room, and then in between Barb and Roy's office.
There's always one in the break room. If one's in for service, there's always one in the break room if one is in for service.
Okay. And then just a few American Red Cross facts. So sudden cardiac arrest is one of the leading causes of death in the U.S. The average response time once 911 is dialed is 8 to 12 minutes. So for each minute that the defibrillation is delayed, sorry, I'm not good at pronouncing that word, it reduces a person's survival by 10%. So don't be afraid to use it. Once you open the kit, it will instruct you on how to use it and steps needed. All right, so where are first aid kits? You know again. He does the audit.
Where? Warehouse, lunchroom, pharmacy.
One more.
Kitchen.
Yes. So there are 4 of them. The break room, kitchenette, warehouse, and pharmacy bathroom. And this is what each of the kit contains. All right, so where are, oops, the PPE kits? Who? One other place. Warehouse. Well, it's true.
Pharmacy.
The reason they're warehouse.
Pharmacy.
Oh, the retail ones are where?
Clinicians' cars.
Yep, the cars, each vehicle. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, the Santos and clinician vehicles. So Amy and, well, We're gonna have to fight over it. Okay, so where are the eye wash stations?
Biomed and pharmacy.
Biomed and pharmacy. Where, how many SDSs do we have?
M-File. It's an M-File.
How many?
You didn't say how many, you just said more out there. Oh, 100.
57.
How many binders? Not sheets and binders. Floors? No. The physical yellow binders. Five?
Five.
She said five. Right. There are five. Pharmacy, IV, biomed, and facilities has two. One up front, by the phone booth, and then one in the warehouse closet. See, they're yellow. And then this is what the 16 sections that are now in the safety data sheets that just give you detailed information on each chemical. All right, where are the panic buttons?
At the front desk, by customer service, and by Camio's office.
Oh,
And
that's
pharmacy.
three of them.
And pharmacy. Warehouse, that was five.
Well, there are. So far we said the front desk.
Two.
There are three there. What did you say, Mommy, again? Say yours again.
Front desk, Camio's office, customer service, pharmacy, and warehouse.
Biomed. One in biomed.
No more.
Biomed garage.
You got it. Anyway.
Customer service. IT. Marketing staff.
And maps are under, there's a tab, the driving office maps. You can scroll down to the safety one and see where all these items are. All right, well, that ends our trivia game. Thank you for participating. We just went through, the safety committee did the worksite hazard assessment. It all went very well. There were a couple repairs, and we have called for service, and wheelchairs have been taken care of. So just a few safety actions for you. If you ever have an injury on the job, make sure you report it as soon as possible to your supervisor or HR. And then the safety committee is made up of, I think there's like 6 or 7 of us. We meet biannually or bi-monthly. If you ever have any questions or anything, feel free to come to anyone on the committee, and you can reach us all at safety@pediatrichomeservice.com. And then always, if ever in doubt, call 911. And if you're using your office phone here, make sure you dial 911. And that is it. Stay safe.
Miss you, Jody.
Okay, so next up we have using education resources. Becky and Dan. Oh, look at you. We plan to match, kind of, so that this would look good. I called her last night. Yeah.
You're in the shoes, man. Look at them. Pretty good.
Okay. So, we're really excited to talk to you guys today about the new PHS website. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to get out there and see it, but we just launched it May 4th, so that was last Monday. And we wanted to walk through with you guys some of the big changes, why it happened, and give you any pertinent information. I think that's an office safety hazard. So what changed? Everything changed. The whole website changed. So we've been working on this site since last August and are very excited that it's been launched and updated and new. But some of the big things and some of the main reasons were we wanted to change navigation. We looked at the page content. Some of the goals for how this site is currently used and how we want to see it used in the future. Do we want some of our families coming to the site more, or do we want a section for clinicians to get education? So those are the kind of the things that we were thinking through. And all the imagery on the site also was changed out. So why the change? We have been seeing for quite some time a trend, and I don't think this is a huge surprise to anyone, that a lot of more people are using their cell phones to navigate the web. So our old site was not mobile friendly, so that was a big driving force behind it, making sure that it worked well on iPhones, Droids if people use those, tablets, any other device that people might be accessing other than desktop computers. We looked a lot at SEO improvements, so what that means is search engine optimization, so making sure when people are looking for us on Google or looking for a keyword that we come up. There's a couple different ways to do SEO. Some of it's through paid and some of it's through organic. So the paid searches are where we're buying keywords that people might be searching so that our website pops up. Organic is when we just use a lot of great keywords in our content, so it brings our relevancy of our site up. So we were able to improve a lot of that. The navigability of the site. We had a lot of sections and a lot of subsections and then some more tertiary subsections under that. So trying to unbury some content. And then also just wordy pages. So cleaning up the content and looking at how can we make this more friendly for a mobile device and for just anyone to look at. And then functionality for search within the site itself. We have a new tool that we can tie keywords. It's going to be pretty great for education in particular, where if we have a printed document and it's about the Trilogy event and we want our families to go on the website and find the video associated with Trilogy event, they can just type in Trilogy and it'll bring up the resource associated with that print material. So we have some new functionality around that as well. So we're just going to quickly go to the site on here, if it works. And I'll point out a couple key points before Becky takes over. Woo! All right, so if you haven't seen it, this is the new homepage, the new landing page. So some of the what does it say at the top? Oh, all right, we'll get on that. But some of the points that I just want to walk through with you guys on the new homepage are, there's 3 different main navigation sites. So if you're on the phone with families, the reason we wanted to show this to you all is that you're comfortable navigating the site and you know how to help people use it if they're calling and asking for information. So this top line, the community resources section, is going to be a great area for families. We have a ton of options for different categories of information that they might want to have information on, with different sites for camps or other disease-specific sites that might be helpful for them. So that's a great area. The blog is right here, as well as careers and bill pay up at the top. The next navigation down is just about PHS. So for the families who don't know who we are, searching for a home care company, they can learn more about us. Services is pretty self-explanatory. That'll take you to a section with our services. Getting Started has information about the admissions process. And then Meet Our Patients, so you can see cute faces like Emily and hear her story. As we come down the page, there's been about 3 sections that people really come back to the site for, and so we wanted to highlight those areas. The careers is obviously a huge hitter. Everyone wants to work at PHS, so we wanted to bring that out prominent. Online bill pay, and then also education. So Becky will get into that area. Another point to mention to you guys is this green peelable section here can go away if we don't have anything to put there, but if there's an initiative that's specifically going on, we can throw that in there, like the NFIT changes that are going on right now. And then lastly is the bottom navigation. So newsroom, if there's product alerts or if there's a story about PHS, that's where you're going to find it. So we really want you guys to go poke around and see the site and become comfortable with it. So we'll have
I hope that was okay. We'll have a few incentives for you. So, go ahead.
Okay, so for class registration, you'll hear some terminology of new PHS University and old PHS University or PHSU. We did this for a few reasons. Efficiency being that everyone's on the same database. So if you take a class, one of our classroom activities, and you're orientating through kind of the old PHSU, that those two things weren't tied together. So this way we have one system that's going to manage all of our education for our staff. It'll be less time for the front desk staff in the end. Right now it's just a tough transition, so thank them for being troopers on that. But it will ultimately be